Hi, this is Dr. Leroy Always with Grade School for Adults. Today's topic is teaching aids for pre-K, for kindergarten, and the interesting thing is some of these teaching aids you will use in first grade, second grade, third grade, and I just found out be using them in fourth grade as well. So I'm surprised. A couple of these are really kind of essential, and they're kind of fun. And as a parent, I know that you've been using teaching aids, especially on mathematics, all the way back to infant stage. Probably, before they definitely could talk, you were probably singing songs to them or playing songs to them. The infant songs of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go again? How many times did you catch that fish? Yeah, I don't know, and there's also, somewhere in that time frame, you might have turned a babysitter on, that babysitter being PBS Kids, and I have no complaint with turning on that PBS Kids show. And one of those shows, it was Pig plus Cat. No, Pig plus Cat. Had a plus sign in the title. And one day, and the reason why I bring that up is one day I'm outside building my kids some monkey bars. And they're all shaped out triangles and putting the whole thing together. And a 4-year-old, before preschool, hadn't internet, comes walking over to me and goes, "Daddy, when are you going to finish the dodecahedron?" And I'm laying on the ground looking up, and I'm going, it's an icosahedron. It's some smarty pants. And it's like, how did she know that was even a polyhedron, let alone the word dodecahedron? How did she possibly know that? The answer, Pig plus Cat. And blew my mind. Just blew my mind. If you ask her now what a dodecahedron is, or icosahedron, it's right over her head. She forgot about Pig plus Cat. But it's buried in there somewhere. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite teaching aids. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing around. You look around, you see a light on over there. I'm going to go to the table. Might even keep this in the video. Okay, over here. And also, one of the teaching aids is that over there, the whiteboard. Good thing to have if you have space. Okay, now, one of the great teaching aids actually is this table. And this table, and yes, there is a reflection once I pull that off. This table is an IKEA table, but the top of it is called shower board. And you can buy shower board down at Home Depot for like 20 bucks. And the cool thing with the shower board is that it is a whiteboard at the same time. And so your kids can use it to erase. My kids, they need Expo markers at school. And the reason why they need Expo markers at school is when they do math, they on their table, they can't write on their desk, but they have little whiteboards with them, and they will do things like 10 plus 2 equals 12, and so on. And then they'll take a little tissue paper or paper towel like this and just wipe it off. So number one on the list, whiteboards, Expo markers. But something like this costs $20 for this board, for this little shower board. And if it gets damaged or something, I actually have it taped on to this IKEA tabletop. And what I'll do at some point in time is I'll untape it and toss it and go buy me another shower board for 20 bucks. Great eraser. I love it. Now, that's number one on my list. Number two on my list, and I mentioned this in another video, are Unifix cubes. And what's cool about the Unifix cubes, let's say for 4 and up, yeah, that's about right, is they teach you the number line. And they give you a number line. They give you these pieces, they're segments, they're 10 long. You can put them together. You can take it all the way to 100. Then they give you a bunch of cubes. Now the cool thing with the cubes is that the cubes can be used in second grade, third grade, first grade, and so on. And they can use these for counting, they can use these for grouping, and so on. And if you put them together like I have it, like this way, you can put them on here, and you can see that these 5 right here give you a group of 5. And then you have another group of 5, you can put it on here. And they give you enough to go out to 100. You can buy them all the way out to 100. I don't have enough to go all the way to 100 because I got kids, and my kids lost some of them. Well, I'll find them someday. Probably in a play box somewhere. So you have groups of 10s and so on. So this is really kind of cool. they can learn, different ways of skip counting, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. They can learn, not only can they learn the skip counting, but they can have 6 and they can add 4, what's 6 plus 4, and they can see 10. But it's a great little thing, teaching aid to teach the number line. And the reason why I'm saying teach the number line starts from 1. These are the counting numbers. Now, I mentioned another one of the biggies, skip counting. Now, this is probably the most useful thing that you can get your kids right now. And if you go into your pre-K teacher room, you go into your kindergarten room, you will see these numbers 1 through 100. And you will see them this way, or you will see it put on the board this way. And either way is really useful. Now, the reason why I say these things are useful is you learn counting as a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can also learn what's called skip counting. And skip counting is another sequence, but not sequence of 1. And the easiest skip counting one is the dark blue or the green. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, counting by 2s. Very, very useful thing to know. Next thing on skip counting, if you're going to use to 2s, gotta know the 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 30, and so on. So learning counting to count by 5s. The next one you really want to learn is counting by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Now, very, very useful to know this. And it's really surprising. One of my daughters brought home a 4th grade assignment last night. She was working on it last night. This is, they're on the topic 2 in 4th grade at their school. And guess what was on that page? This table was on this page. And that really surprised me. And what they were asking about was sequences, 10, 20, 30, 40. How can you describe them? They were talking about also skip counting a little bit. And so in kindergarten, 1st grade, they need to know all the numbers all the way up to 100. So they need to be able to fill in this table, so like if you had one of these tables and numbers were missing, they need to fill in the numbers. They need to be able to identify the numbers and so on. So very, very useful. Next, so we got one of my favorites are the bookstore Ollie. Now, any store that sells discounted books is good, but Ollie's, I have one right down the road. They sell books like stochastics books, and they sell them very cheaply. I recommend if you buy one of these, if you're buying for your pre-K, buy a kindergarten book. Don't buy a pre-K book. Buy one that's always 1 grade level ahead of your kids. And the reason why is this says 4th grade workbook. And if I look, some of the reading and so on, that probably definitely 4th grade. They have some things in here on maps and so on, which I really liked. But if I look at the math, just looking at the math, yes, 1/3, 1/4, identifying things like that. So yeah, that is definitely, we're looking at things that we're going to see in 4th grade. But if I go back here at the very beginning or find the early math, if I can find it, that's charts and tables. We can find multiplication like this. This is multiplication that they should have been doing in 3rd grade. And it's one of these things, when you look at these books, you will find a lot, and I mean a lot of review. This is one of my daughters did. This has parentheses in it. And so she did this in 3rd grade, but and so she was beginning to understand what parentheses were. So yes, there are 4th grade topics, but there's a lot of 3rd grade topics. For example, adding these to her, that's a 3rd grade topic. It's one of the reasons why she didn't do this, because it was something that she'd already seen before. So so she was doing the more interesting ones, the things with the parentheses and so on. So always, if you buy a kindergarten book, or if your child is going into kindergarten, buy a first grade book or a second grade book. If your kid is going into pre-K, buy a kindergarten book. Yeah. So those are some of the teaching aids that I like for the kindergarten, pre-K. And again, some of those teaching aids they will use and continue to use. I can imagine that table of 1 to 100 being used in 5th grade. So it's something that you can buy some of these and use them for multiple years. Again, the books, buy a book that's a grade level beyond, because I think again they dumb down those books a little bit. But the cubes are really, really, really useful. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, if you want to have a particular video on a particular topic, let me know and I'll try to cover it. There are more teaching aids I want to talk about, some of the apps I want to talk about, and even some of the PBS shows besides Peg Plus Cat. Again, I like Peg Plus Cat, but I really do like Peg Plus Cat. And yeah, it's a really cool show. So again, if you have any comments, questions, put them down or send me an email. My email's at the end of this, and I will definitely get back to you and answer. Thanks again for watching. Bye. Tell your friends.